each year, 150 plus thousand children come across the border and are unaccounted for. If they're not with proper authorities, they are with cartels, they are with criminal organizations, they are getting sex trafficked. It's the biggest business on the planet.
Real life.
It ain't real life. Just say real life street stars. You know what time it is.
Now, there's a story where you said you've been poisoned.
Yeah.
What was that about? Was that like from a date rape illicit drug, or just like some nigga try to take you out with some rat shit?
This happened over a course of 6 years. I'm finna send you a photo from the very first night when our whole group actually got poisoned.
That's crazy.
So what ended up happening was, I had got arrested for some for dragging a motherfucker out of the crib he wasn't supposed to be in, right? Hold on, I'm gonna repeat that shit. Let me get this photo for you.
Go ahead.
All right, boom. So on this in particular night, let me know you get that.
Yeah, okay.
So on this in particular night, I'm with a group of trust fund babies. Like everybody on there come from a millionaire, multi-millionaire family.
Yeah.
So when I talk about this, sometimes I get a little weird because there's no reason I should be tested positive for cyanide. Because I had got arrested one time doing my job, you feel me? Removing a stalker out of a house. Police get there. They ended up taking the stalker's word over mine. And I ended up going to jail. So I get to the jail and they have me walk through this x-ray machine. They said, hey, big guy, come check this out. They showed me that I really only got one functioning lung. So he said, you ever had pneumonia? I said, yeah, I had pneumonia 3 times. He said, 3 times? So I got my toxicology report. I'll send it to you. So over a period of 6 years, I had tested positive for cyanide 3 different times. And I later found out that cyanide poisoning turns into pneumonia. So, yeah, I'll just say it. We was having problems with some Serbian dudes. You feel me? Some very feared guys. I'm not gonna lie. Like, like a lot of people was really worried for me and my cousin at this time, and me and Dugar. So like they had did some shit. We responded thinking they were just normal dudes, but they wasn't. So I can't directly correlate it to them, but the first time we was in the club, we drank the bottle, everybody blacked out. Everybody.
Damn.
I ended up coming to in a police car. They said I started attacking cameramen and all type of shit.
Oh, shit.
But I had ended up putting my group in the limo to the limo driver, and they was gone. And that was like the last thing I could really remember from that event. And then 2 other times, yeah, like, I don't know, like...
how long ago was this?
So the last time I went through this was 2016.
Wow.
Like, that was like the last time I had pneumonia. And I personally believe that the last time that they had administered this shit, like on my front door and on my car door. Like that's...
I heard stories of ways.
Yeah, because shout out Donnie Simmons. He's a police officer. He had did the little test on my car, and they found the traces of it right there.
Wow.
So yeah.
Damn.
So it get real, bro. You feel? That's why, I see like Jaguar Wright on her, making her plays, and like I see certain people doing their thing, and like, the price of life is cheap, bro.
Yeah.
And like, I know she don't have like the same like mental security awareness that I'm gonna have. But she do got that woman divine energy stuff going on. So, gotta be careful, bro. You gotta be careful.
What are your
It's
thoughts
real.
on Jaguar Wright, what she's saying and the truth she's trying to put out? Because she's been talking for a few years now.
Yeah.
And you've been going even further back than that with stuff that you saw.
Yeah.
What do you take on what she's speaking on now and even the Pierce Morgan situation?
So, I'm not going to debate like facts with people about Jaguar Wright. You feel me? This is a lady who got song production credits with Al Green, bro. This is somebody who's a gifted talent, like a real artist, have a real singing voice, like now outside of the studio without synthesizers and effects. You feel me? And like anybody who's on a crusade to bring awareness to human trafficking and oppression against women and children, I support. You feel me? Like, because that's really what the cause is. Because, that was always my true message. You feel me? Because, like, to get my message out, I knew I would have to throw some people under the bus. But, like, I'm the boogeyman to them. So, like, I ain't really worried about that. You feel me? But it's just like, it's things happening in our country that people aren't paying attention to. You feel me? The Democrats let in 13,000 people with murder convictions illegally through the border. That's outlandish. Over 600 people on a terrorist watch list have crossed the border illegally and are moving freely on the undetained list here in America. Each year, 150 plus thousand children come across the border and are unaccounted for. If they're not with proper authorities, they are with cartels, they are with criminal organizations, they are getting sex trafficked. It's the biggest business on the planet. You feel me? Because like my thing is like eventually, it's 40,000 war-age Chinese nationals have crossed the border illegally. They're coming with instructions on who to talk to when they get here. Verizon Wireless was just brought down. Those are those Chinese hackers. The country of China has had several illegal Chinese police stations operating in our country. How is this happening? Eventually, people are going to start to explode in the grocery store while our mothers and grandmothers and our families out shopping. There's no way around this. So, like, these are things people need to really pay attention to, because if you see Democratic parties banning abortion, they're doing that because human birth rate is on the point of collapse. People of European descent in this country, their birth rates are collapsed to the point of catastrophic level. Mm-hmm. So that's why they're going to ban abortion. So people are going to look at it like, oh, they trying to do this like this to oppress people. No. The birth rate is collapsing. The middle class in this country is getting squoze out. They brought all of these immigrants into swing states. Their plan is to make them legal, so now all of the other red states turn blue. There is some sort of conspiracy going on. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but News Nation reached out to me to come on their channel, on their platform to discuss Diddy. I told them they had to pay me. They didn't want to pay. I didn't do it, so then they bring Ray J on. So instead of me, they brought Ray J. Ray J was with Diddy, F. Gary Gray, and Diddy, F. Gary Gray, Diddy, and Ray J was out in Vegas on some very strange timing. So for them to bring him up there and he trying to speak positive about the situation, that's a conspiracy.
That is crazy. That is planning.
Let me, I often ask these questions because you're right. There are things going on behind the scenes, but it's so big. It's like, what do you do about it? Like, for instance, I watched a lady. She was talking about they tell her they make it impossible for us to pay our bills, and then they make it illegal to be poor. Because what she was doing, she had started getting groups of people, and they were just pitching tents. And they had the authority was coming out there and saying, you can't put a tent right here. And they was like, but we can't live anywhere. Nowhere else for us to go. We can't afford to live. So it's like the middle class is disappearing. So like, what do you do about it? Or what? And that's not what do we, but like specifically, how do you feel like you're gonna have to move coming in the future?
Yeah, so I have a website called thecolony.life. So basically, I got 500 people who have pledged $2,000. That's $1 million. So I've raised $1 million to purchase a swath of land, solar powered.
Oh wow!
Little community. There's several other projects like this that's going on right now.
Right.
You can't save everybody.
Right.
Small groups of people, your tribe of people, you got to break off and do your own thing. It's really the only answer. And we got to get away from the Democratic Party. Simply because the only chance we have of shrinking the government is to go the Republican route. Because people don't know that the Democratic Party was founded by the KKK. People don't know this. Like the Democrats were against abolishing slavery. People don't know these things. You know, like I remember Rob Blagojevich coming in my church. I remember Barack Obama coming in my church when I was a kid and saying, if you can vote for Blagojevich, you can vote for Obama. And that resonated with me because look at Obama and look at Kamala. They look like they could be
brother and sister.
Hey.
And there's a retired FBI agent named John D'Souza, a man who I respect very much, a highly respectable individual, a solid man. He has an expose speaking about how the former president true identity, and I'll leave it at that. So if anybody wants to look into that, look up John D'Souza, retired FBI agent, and look up the word Barry, Barry. Check that out.
So I know you may have some feelings about the Democratic Party, but the Republican candidate, you know, he's trying to pass certain propositions.
He'll never do it. In order to pass any of that, they have to pass Congress. It's just his plan.
What did he say when he want to deban the Department of Education?
He want to defund the Department of Education.
Yeah, defund them. Like, it's too many of them. It's too many of them walking around. I don't want to sound like
give police full immunity against prosecution.
Yeah, so the thing with that is, like, he's not a dictator.
Yeah, no.
And in order for him to pass that plan, he would have to be able to change the Constitution.
For sure.
That'll never happen in this country.
Wait. So they gave presidents immunity. That's never happened in this country.
The Supreme Court gave him immunity.
But wasn't that for presidents going forward? Like, we're going to... President can't be prosecuted.
Start getting into that level of the world.
Oof.
If somebody gave this is how this works. You got this seat in the Supreme Court. It costs you several millions to get elected to be a senator previously to that. So whoever's funding you is whose ideals you're going to support. There was a portion of the U.S. military that they had to remove from active duty because they said they were radicalized behind Trump. So you got to think about it. I really start to get nervous when I see people going out their way to antagonize white male population. Because if you study history, this is the most prolific group of killers that ever hit the planet.
Ever.
Absolutely.
They can organize themselves better than any other community of people. So when you see a country doing things to antagonize them,
Shout out Reallyfe Street Stars, nigga. Move. Hey.